Well, good afternoon and welcome to Celina's special Board of Education meeting. The date is Monday, February 1st. It is 4 p.m. and we are here in the Ed Complex Auditorium. This is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purposes of conducting school district's business, and it's not to be considered a public community meeting. There is time for public participation during the meeting indicated in the agenda. I'd like to call this meeting to order and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you don't stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Sommer, please conduct the roll.
Mr. Flack.
Present.
Mr. Sell.
Here.
Mrs. Gingrich.
Yes.
Mrs. Voorhees.
Here.
Mr. Huber.
Here.
Showing all board members are in attendance tonight. We are here, this is the culmination of really 3 meetings. This is why it's a special meeting to entertain a motion to put a resolution of a bond before the voters of Celina. So we have a motion before us. I would entertain a motion to bring the item to the floor. Okay, I've got Mr. Huber and Mr. Sell with a second. Having received a first and a second, I'd open the floor for discussion on the motion.
I have a meeting for Mr. Summer. I think I know this, but just to make sure, on attachment 1, resolution determining to proceed with bond issue and levy, toward the end, where we're talking about the duration of the bond issue and tax levy, is the operational period for 23 years and then the bond issue itself for 37?
Yes, the bond issue is 37 years. The maintenance fund levy is 23 years.
Okay, so we'll accrue enough money in 23 years to continue operating.
Not
We'll have to
operating.
renew it in 23 years. That's what I mean, maintenance, yeah.
That's what the state says and recommends.
Okay.
So if for everyone at home, this is an 8.2 mil levy. Of that 8.2 mils, 0.5 of that is for maintenance to the facility. So the state of Ohio mandates that if any Ohio school is going to go through a building project and ask the voters for those funds, that we then have the monies to maintain those facilities. That we would have for 23 years a 0.5 mil. A maintenance levy that would then go for, a heating system breaks or casual repairs that need done. So that was a question that comes up often is, are you going to be able to maintain the facilities that you just build? That is right in this fund. Also want to give just a quick overview of the numbers so we're all familiar as well as those at home. It's an 8.2 mil levy for approximately 76 million. That's real dollars and cents, approximately $287 per $100,000 worth of value in your home. So if your home is worth less than that, you would subtract down. If your home is worth more than that, you would add up. We use the 100K valuation because it's a good kind of center point. Last time I looked, the average home value was around 130 or 40,000 in Celina. There is, however, 3.8 mils coming off or having just come off over 2019 and 2020. That approximates to $133 per $100,000 value at home, meaning this is an effective increase of $154 per $100,000 in value at home, or about $13 a month. So that's important because that's still not a small sum of money, $154 per 100K per year. But it is important that people understand that 3.8 coming off does lower their tax bill. It's one of the reasons we feel like now is a good time to put this for the voters because it is not just asking for an increase while we're still paying down other debt. Other questions, thoughts, or comments?
Tom, is there a chance 20 years down the road this bond levy will be shortened because of valuations in the county? Just to put it out there for the public.
Anything's possible. I mean, the interest rates right now are very low, and if they stay this low, I mean, and as valuations go up, you got to remember that property tax at 7.7 or 8.2 is going to come down effectively. But, you know, I would hate to say that in 20 years, yes, it's going to be shortened, because we don't know.
Sure.
But yes, it could.
Okay.
That is one thing people hear, well, what happens if my home goes up? We are capped at the amount of money we can collect. So if your home value goes up or my home value goes up, the effective millage, the thing that charges the property taxes, decreases to match the amount of money that it will cost you or I as a homeowner. So even if your home value goes up, this bond will not collect more money. Other bonds may, you know, from a library bond, for example, may collect more. This bond is capped at the dollar amount that the voter votes on. So even if your home value goes up, this bond will not collect more money, which gives the homeowner some comfort knowing that they're voting on a dollar amount that's going to stay with them.
Good point.
If this is passed today, the ballot would be on May 4th. We would also have early voting begin in April. I'm not sure the exact date, Dr. Ken, do you have on that?
Right in the mid part of April, yeah.
So it's 30 days before that, and then so people will be able to vote at the courthouse as well as do, of course, mail-in voting, all that the state of Ohio offers, early in-person voting, and then May 4th voting over at the Galleria. So, any other questions before we call roll or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Summer, please call roll.
Mr. Huber,
Yes.
Mr. Sell,
Yes.
Mrs. Voorhees,
Yes?
Mrs. Gingrich,
Yes.
Mr. Flack.
Yes. Motion passes unanimously. Dr. Ken, before we adjourn, anything for the good of the public?
I saw some snowflakes coming down as we walked into the meeting. With the wind staying at over 10 miles per hour, yeah, that could make it a dicey situation again for school tomorrow.
And that for parents means if we are having to be canceled, that decision will be made by Dr. Ken tomorrow, but check your emails. Those become blizzard bag days, and that becomes kind of e-learning, Google Classroom days. And so I reminded my daughter today that today is actually her last snow day possible. Any days moving forward become instruction days, and she loved hearing that. So that was,
good.
yeah. Well, having no other,
Well, we do have, what, 3 or 4 days, is that correct?
3.
3 days before we have to go back and extend the year. Hopefully not, but we'll see what the weather does for us.
well, thank you. We stand adjourned.